Alright, replay review. Sky Temple Anduin played by Tooth. Initial thoughts on draft setup. Nothing hugely stands out as super good or super bad. The two big things we're looking for in draft in Anduin is do you have a good light bomb target and do you have good things to pull? And both those are like mediocre, I guess. Um, you can light bomb Blaze when he goes in, that's fine. He gets some multi-man stuns with his E. You light bomb him, extend the stun. It's not the best light bomb delivery, but it's passable. They have engage you can pull. You can pull people away from task walls if they get trapped. You can pull people out of Diablo combos. Varian is not going taunt, and that should be fairly obvious from the draft screen because you already have a Diablo. So there's no taunt to pull from, but like Diablo combos certainly. There's certainly stuff you can do. Um, Big things you're looking for this game is obviously light bombing on the Blaze Engage, like I said, and pulling off of Diablo Engage or Force Wall, even Lucio Engage. And then you're also looking to root off of your ally engages, like Kelth's Oddlands, a combo, you can root to extend it. Blaze lands E, you can root to extend it. Even Blaze lands W, and someone's slowed, that's enough setup for you to hit your root most of the time. Yep. Things I'm looking for Anduin here, are you pressing Q and W, essentially on cooldown in combat, keeping your team healed up. Especially with Power Word Shield, you want to be pressing W a lot for that shield value. Are you sneaking in as many auto attacks as you can? And by that I mean as much as you safely can. Which, depending on the game, sometimes means you're always auto attacking because you can't be punished. Sometimes you're waiting for certain abilities to go down. Sometimes you're not auto attacking at all. In this case, it's probably more of the second one. If you're stepping up too far to auto attack, all abilities are up, like Diablo's combo. If he goes APOC combo, especially, otherwise you're largely fine as long as you stay away from walls. Um, and Lucio and Task Walls also have some engage potential, so watch out for that. But once those are down, or if your position relative to them is good, you can certainly sneak in some autos for some extra healing. Then are you using E to either peel for your team or follow up on ally engages, like I said, with the Kel'Thuzad, with the Blaze, and then just like rooting Diablo when he goes in, or Varian, or if you can catch Lucio and Tracer, those are good, but you shouldn't really be able to. Yeah, let's see how this goes.
Combat starts in 10 seconds. 5, 1, let the battle begin.
There's a confirmation that Sag is offlane, so already we're a little bit awkward in lane setups. Offlane is more top on Sky Temple. Ideally, what I would want is Ragnaros top. Zagara can hold bottom for a while. Okay, actually, there's an argument for Zagara top. So offlane is usually top, but in Sky Temple because you have siege camps you want to capture at 1 minute. But there is a trick I like a lot in Sky Temple where you capture siege at 1 minute, then you immediately go to Bruiser camp, capture that, and then push down top lane. Because if you can use the Bruiser camp and a push top lane with like 3 people to get just the front wall, that means if you get the entire top temple, it gets the entire fort. Versus if you don't do that, it does not. If you don't prep a lane for the first objective, it does not get a full fort. So while top lane is off lane, there's also a strong argument for you actually do want to transition to pushing it later. So there is an argument for Ragnaros goes bot and Zagara goes top because Zagara can enable a push harder. So you have Ragnaros holding bottom, Zagara go top, you do your normal things, you like clear, clear, clear. You do your siege camp at 1 minute, you do your bruiser camp, and then you push top with Zagara, and like Blaze just holds mid. And you get um, try to get the wall with Zagara siege, and then from there you can get the temple, and then potentially Ragnaros can double soak bot mid during temple if you don't need him. But that's more of a play it by ear sort of thing. Okay, so you definitely have more ability to throw in auto attacks here. Your position here is fine. The W to W wave is honestly what I do. It's not super optimal because you're missing out on like actual healing with it, but just speeding up the wave clear is fine. I would do the same personally. And as soon as Tracer shows, you can start auto attacking, and then start throwing heals on your Kel'Thuzad, and he may need a pull here. Remember how I said the task wall you can pull to get people out of it? He's in the middle of 3 people, and he's task walled off. Pull here saves him. Said you throw the root and then you back up, so you throw no auto attacks. You press the only ability you've pressed so far is you pressed W on the minion wave. You pressed E to try and hit Tracer, which is a pretty low probability play, and then you backed off, when your Kel'Thuzad's in trouble. No one's going for you. You can absolutely be dumping heals into your Kel'Thuzad, or even better, pulling him. So he dies because of you. You're walking in melee range of Diablo. Try and stay at max auto attack range. Pressing Q this time. It's good. Absolutely did not need a pull there, by the way. Your Blaze is full health. He's totally fine in there. Save your pull for when people are actually in trouble and can't get out on their own. It's a fairly long cooldown. It wasn't really under any threat. So ideally, I'd want your team to be rotating here, by the way. Zagara especially. Like, you're missing top soak here. You could throw an E at your Diablo here. A little late. The fact that I got Lucio is pure coincidence. It shouldn't have. Yeah, you're missing the entirety of top soak. I really hate this. I like the call for retreat. I'd ping assistance top. Okay, someone pinged defense top. Hopefully Zagara goes. She's not. I honestly at this point I would be going. Really, I would be going at the first wave too. I think I mentioned this probably in one of the reviews for you before, but the value of just fighting mid for the first few minutes is really, really minimal. You get more value out of catching the minion waves. Like, even if your team is dying mid, you're getting more value out of the minion waves you catch in the side lane than the deaths. So it's not optimal for the healer to rotate away that much. Also, if you're paying attention to Blaze, you can root the Tracer off his Z there. But yeah, it's not optimal for the healer to rotate away to that extent, but it is optimal to catch those mini waves, and if no one else is doing it, might as well be you. I like your positioning to bring the W over to everyone. It's really good. Kel'Thuzad is getting stacked at least. They don't really know how to combo though. I'd be pinging assistance on top if I'm not rotating there already. Kind of a raw route that does nothing, wasting mana. You're already half mana or so. Anduin doesn't usually go out of mana, but if you're spamming abilities a lot, he can. So like roots that do nothing like that aren't worth throwing. Also, we were missing camp too. Secondary to missing top soak, but you should have been getting this siege camp. The macro on your team. Also, you saw Diablo there. Get ready to save your team, and by that I would say let's go back to when we first see him. Yeah, right there. So you know Diablo's flanking, and there might be others flanking as well. So and they're coming from down here. So what you want to do is path your way up to this way. This way puts you in range of Diablo charging and potentially getting killed. This way you're out of Diablo charge range. You can loop around over here to get back to safety, and up here since you're like free of engage, you're in range to pull someone if they get gun on. Stepping up here is really dangerous because yeah, you're now you don't know Lucio here. This is the first time you saw Lucio, but they're all coming from down here. You could potentially get sandwiched between them and the tower before you can get up to safety. Also, being this close means that your pull has less value. You want to be pulling. You don't want to be pulling people right next to you. So there's sometimes you do. Sometimes you just need to do it for the unstoppable. But largely, you want to be pulling people max range out of danger. If they are in danger right here and you're right here, you pulling them barely does anything. Fortunately, there wasn't actually any threat behind it. It was just Diablo and Lucio, so your team is totally fine. But if there were actual damage threats there, you could have been in real trouble. Again, Root kind of does nothing. It looks cool, but there wasn't anyone in range to follow up on it. Yeah, so look at your XP gap. This is entirely because of all the waves you've missed top. Like, the one kill that happened, level 1, barely means anything. This is all minion XP difference. You're, like, a full level behind because of it. I like that you ping you need healing balance, so your team at least has some reason to know you won't be there. Step up more. Your team's fighting. You're not in range of abilities. You can step up more. You can sneak in some autos. Like, throw autos in. Every auto you get on enemies heals someone for 39 health, which is not a lot, but you have like 1 attack speed, right? That's 39 health per second you're adding, which is pretty good. Like quick maths, you can heal what 341 every 5 seconds with your Q, which is in healing per second terms. 41 divided by 5, 68 healing per second or so. So you add basically another half Q. More than another half Q if you're autoing constantly. It's pretty good. It's like you can be autoing this Tassadar, auto the Diablo. Like, now Diablo's used its abilities, you're definitely free. Pull does nothing, by the way. Their abilities already were used. You had W up, you could have extended Blaze's life by like a second. If you had pull up, you could have saved him entirely. Also, the other thing is, Rag actually correct here, because you're down 7s, you shouldn't really be fighting in the first place. Don't. If you want to retreat, if you want team to retreat, ping it. Yeah, if you, this means nothing because you didn't say it at the time. Team has no team looks at you briefly, they see you have mana, you have health, they see that you're fine. If you think you cannot keep them healed up, you need to be pinging retreat. If you think you're out of cooldowns, you can ping your cooldowns. So you can quick ping retreat by pressing V. If you hold G, it brings up a little ping wheel. I can't do it in replay, but like if you hold G and then drag your mouse up and then let it go, like G go, it'll ping danger. If you hold Alt and click on any of your abilities, it'll show their cooldowns or if they're ready or not. If you hold Alt and click your mana bar, it'll display how much mana you have remaining. So if you think you're out of cooldowns, or you think the area is dangerous or people need to retreat, you should be pinging it. It doesn't mean anything if you say later, like, oh, I was out of this stuff, we should have retreated, because saying what you should have done doesn't mean anything. Saying what you should do in the moment means a lot. You can be stepping up more. Like, you're not getting you're not getting trait value in the slightest. There is certainly a time and place where you need to be playing that passively and just like literally sitting out of vision behind a wall, pressing Q, and not stepping up at all. But they don't have that kind of engaged threat on you. You can step up and sneak in a few autos. Nice kill, odd combo. She does not die. It's a useless gank. You can't kill Tracer. Finally, someone's testing top. He's just dead, though. Unfortunate. Oh, he's alive. Sorry, didn't get any abilities back. It's like 2 or 3 times that, So you want to pull way earlier than that, by the way, if you want to pull at all. Which, personally, I wouldn't. I would greet it. But it might be the correct decision. If you're gonna pull, if you think someone's in danger, pull at the start of the engage rather than afterwards. Like, if you think this guy's in danger because there's 4 people around him, pull him now. That way, you pull him, he's still at full health, and he can go back in if he wishes. If you wait to pull until he's super low, then you pull him, he's out of the fight. You can't go back in. It's the same principle as when using burst heals like Ancestral or Life Binder, or any sort of similarly delayed save ability. You want to use them sooner because if you use them later, you run the risk of enemies dying, and or after you save them, they can't go back in. The save tool should be used to keep enemies or allies able to stay in the fight. Also, they have Tracer and they can follow, pull. Use up, you can press Q on someone. Cool. Took a little long. You could have had basically a second Q by this point, but good enough. Yeah, good call by Zagara, and you should follow it. Your team is down level 10. Your Blaze is kind of running it here. Your 3 of your heals are targeted, and you can control where the 3rd heal goes. KTZ isn't dodging anything. Go up your Zagara, auto attack that camp with her. You don't need to back, you're full everything. Yeah, so you're kind of just losing to XP difference at this point. Keep moving, by the way. This is why you should help your Zagara.
That is not the kind of task one should.
I'd go catch mid for your team. You don't need everyone top. You're losing to XP difference. You desperately need XP to get back into the game. Mid gives XP. Like again, I'd feel you don't really want to go step up and pull this guy. Step up and pull this guy. All right, he died because of you. I'm gonna go fully into your view so I can see exactly where you're looking. This is your camera at the moment. You see this flip. Absolutely step up and pull him. You're standing around doing nothing. And actually, yeah, also, I think you're typing, which is even more egregious. You go AFK and type here, which lets this guy get a wall, which means now you're dead. Don't do that. You were right next to him. Any criticism of you is the same criticism as him right there. Really, you just should stop typing in general. You can't step up here, you saw Varian. If Blaze dies, you can't save him. He's too far. Yeah, you saw Varian on the flank there. Varian, if your fort was still up, it was fine. You could like root him as he goes on you and run back to your fort, but your safety is all the way back here. Varian can absolutely run you down and kill you. You can't step up to save your Blaze. It's like if Varian isn't there, sure you can, but as soon as you see Varian there, it's not allowed. And really, even if you don't see Varian there, it's probably correct not to anyway, because there's some assumption that team enemies could be flanking since you don't see all of them. But especially once you see Varian, that's not allowed.
All right, shrug it off, Anduin.
stop typing. Every time you type, you go AFK. If when you go AFK, you're not doing anything on the map. Also, you're doing the thing Storm League teams do, where you're losing, you're all typing at each other, and now you're incredibly disorganized, so you're going to lose. Like, there's three of you clearing this bruiser camp. Blazer Rag can do it alone. Um, Probably should be setting up to clear boss quickly. Setting up to get mid wave. Where's Kel'Thuzad? None of you are with him. You see them rotating up, by the way. You're going to get dove. Or they're just going for temple. Oh, hey, there's a Tassadar. You see this Tassadar, by the way. You can't be stepping up here. You need to be pinging, like, danger on the Tassadar. You also saw a Varian rotating up. You don't see him on vision. Where's Varian? He's probably somewhere in here. Let's go to all vision. Oh, hey, there he is. Yeah. So, the fact that you see Tassadar, the fact that you don't see Varian, but you saw him rotating up, means he's probably somewhere around here looking for a flank like he did mid. So you can't be stepping up this far. You need to be pinging like retreat, level 13. You have no Kel'Thuzad at the moment. You're like at the moment you're 3v3 down 14. Down 13. But you know that a fourth is coming. So worst case scenario, you're 3v4 down 14, and they have a flank on you, which is like guaranteed team fight loss. If Varian's lagging behind, maybe Kel'Thuzad comes. Maybe they're not flanking. Maybe they're just taking it. It's still a 4v4 down 13, which is not favorable to you. Alright, there's Varian on the flank. You see this, by the way. He's in vision. You are incredibly in danger. You're gonna need to catch his charge with your root and then run away. You can't stop stepping further in. You need to, well, I mean, you're kind of dead either way. If you run back this way, he just goes on you. Your team's not there. If you run further in, you're dead because they collapse on you. Like, at this point, you're kind of just dead regardless. Blaze isn't even bunker. You don't have that to bail you out. Your best bet, I guess, is to get up here maybe and try to, I don't know, outfight down 13. Maybe if you get a fat light bomb. I would definitely step up this way. Right here, you're drawing a direct line from both of these guys who can go on you. If you're like up here, then it's harder for them to get to you. They have to get past your team first. Back to Anduin. There we go. And you just kind of get caught. Again, you were basically dead as soon as you stepped in there.
The enemy just destroyed a fort.
You're also part of the problem. Stop typing, please. Also start moving. Stop typing. Hey, if you moved, you were probably close enough to this to make a difference. I don't know where you're going here.
I require assistance.
What are you pinging? Yeah. If you want to give them the keep, you sit under your core. Sitting here doesn't do anything. Please, I beg of you, stop typing. What do you mean why? They're pushing your core. What do you mean why? Like, giving the keep is fine, but sitting under your gate while they're hitting your core is very sus. Because now, look, they're hitting your core. You want to go defend core. You're coming from over here. You get killed if you come from over here. If you're under your core, at least the core can protect you a little bit, and you have your fountain to go back to. Keep does not protect you. They can dive you. Now look, you die. And I didn't look at you. And so your team's fighting. Where's their healer? He's over here. Where did that light bomb even go? Oh my god. Okay, honestly, enough. I feel like I've seen enough here. I'll fast forward through. No, never mind. It has to prepare game data anyway. I feel like I've seen enough here. I don't even know if this is gonna show up. Yeah. So the biggest thing. So you lost largely. Well, you lost for two reasons. You got behind because of XP difference because no one was catching top lane, and you just kind of lost off of that. Because your team was just down talent tiers, fighting down talent tiers, then you lose because you're fighting down talent tiers, and then you get behind even more. That's the first reason you lost because no one catch top, and you could have prevented that by either going to do it yourself or aggressively ping your team to do it, preferably both. Um, it's like as soon as you clear the mid wave, as soon as the top wave's crashing and no one's going, you can start mounting up and heading over there, ping like assistance, um, ping danger mid lane, maybe even go into chat and type soak or something so people know. And yeah, you might get flamed for it, but hey, you'll be getting talent. You'll be getting the XP for your team that you won't be lacking as you were in that game. The second reason you lost was because after you got behind, the team did classic Storm League thing where everyone flamed each other and desynced and died from it, and you're not an exception to that. You were doing it just as much as they were. Basically, every after teams started typing to each other, basically every fight after that was your team is spread out various parts of the map, too busy flaming each other to actually play the game, uh, not willing to help each other because they hate each other, uh, going AFK and blaming each other for deaths every time they happen, stuff like that. So you never actually got the chance to try to take a good fight and come back into the game. Uh, Ability usage wise, honestly, like is secondary to just how you're approaching the game. Like ability usage, I'll say, you know, you could have pulled better. You did some unnecessary pulls. You missed an obvious pull on Kel'Thuzad at the start of the game. But again, most of the game was not even you trying to play, so it's not as relevant. Um, I don't think you got any good light bombs. You got like some decent routes, I guess. Again, like it was like the first 3 to 5 minutes was sitting mid, and then first temple came up. There was XP difference. You died to XP difference, and then it just started to collapse. So my number one piece of advice here is A, don't be afraid to go get sideways when team won't at the start of the game. B, ping stuff that you want to happen. Ping people to go to sideways. Ping when you think the fight is bad and you don't have cooldowns and you want to get out. Ping when you want people to go. Like, don't be afraid of doing that. And then third and most importantly, play the damn game. Stop typing to your team. Stop going AFK to type to your team. Every single thing you typed about them as a complaint applies to you as well. Um, so all you did was just like go AFK, type, like top. You just when AFK, you watched Rag get flipped over the wall, did nothing. That's actually ability usage. You should have stepped up to pull him. Uh, you like typed as a response to other people typing, and because you were typing, Katsar just sort of walked up, got a wall on both you and Kel'Thuzad, and you died. Then you flamed Kel'Thuzad for it. So yeah, I don't know if that was just like after a string of losses that you were a little tilted, or you just got baited down into the sea of flame wars, but whatever it is, don't. If you consistently have problems with it, don't be afraid to turn off chat. Very little shot calling actually goes on in chat, especially at the rank you are. Most of it is just going to be flaming. Anything that needs to be communicated can be done through pings. So if this is a consistent problem for you, I would just recommend turning off chat so you can focus more on playing the game. Yeah. Hopefully this helps, I guess. Like maybe you just need someone to point out the mindset problem there. I might look at the other replay you posted later because this one was not that relevant gameplay wise. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and as always, good luck in your future games.